So we will enter the dragon of today's topic. What is today's topic? If you use the concept of spokes, listen carefully, and existence, how do you understand that? What are the spokes of existence?
Spokes of existence.
According to
Mind,
you. Go on.
mind, body, spirit.
They were already discussed as spokes of the self. All right. So when you listen, when you hear the word existence, what all things come to your mind? What are the reference? What all reference? What all reference come to your mind? Yes.
The form of existence.
Form of existence or forms of existence.
Forms of existence.
Okay. All right. Now onwards, most of the time you should be ready to participate in the creative analytic thinking, projection, conceptualization process. Talk your ideas. Existence is a very well-known word, which you also know. At least you must wonder when you are asked, what do you really comprehend by existence? You do not have a proper explanation for that. See, this also indirectly, every one of you listen, this is an evidence indirect that great lot of people are just familiar with words and they use it without any glimpse of the possible, probable range of reference implied by those words. You shall not be like that. Please. Okay, what are the examples of existences? Come on. Give some examples of existence. Yeah.
We all exist now.
Yeah, okay. All right.
So existence is about the now, the awareness about ourselves or whatever
All right.
at the present time.
Anything else? Any other response?
Existence is also. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, proceed.
No, is Veena done?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So existence is also about social identity, about how a person perceives his being in relation to others. So existence as with a certain social identity.
Okay.
Existence is also about social relationships, how you engage with others,
All right.
and as well as with nature or with other materials as forms of employment. Existence as a farmer, as a quarry owner, as a truck driver, as any of these professions. So existence involves each of these dimensions.
Okay, you have given a very comprehensive thing. Out of all, you have given so many what you call quarry driver, etc., etc. Out of that, if I say that to the context of today, you have mentioned one aspect which is the key, which is the fundamental. Can you say what?
Social identity,
No.
relationship with nature.
Ah, exactly. Others, society and all come much later. Primarily, if you look at something which exists, like Veena said, you are existing. Actually, one can exist only in the present. You cannot exist even just 1 second back. And you cannot exist 1 second later. Tuck, 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 it goes out. Existence is 100% ongoingness. And that is in the wide wide stage of the nature. Of course, there are other people. There are the trees and plants and birds and food materials and utensils and technologies and all those things also. They are also existing. Okay, let's go to existence and nature. Yeah, Anu was about to say something.
Say this flow of energy in existence.
Good, beautiful.
So it's a
Wait, you are coming much close to the topic which I wanted to discuss. Energy. What are the energies? Perhaps you might have, know that. What are the energies by which existence, organic existence, I am making it little more clear, is possible?
Air.
Of course. Who said that?
Air.
Okay, of course, air. Yeah.
Is air an energy?
Why not?
It has energy, but is it energy by itself?
It has energy. That means it is capable of being energy. Like a petroleum, like a petrol. It just waits. Next moment, it is energy. If the intent of air is energy, the intent of petrol is energy. If the petrol is never burned, it's of no use.
It's basically potential energy.
Yeah, that's all scientific. All right, potential or whatever. Okay. So air, which is the next energy?
It's a snapshot of a process.
Actually, Anuradha, I am just using your words. Your word, energy, actually. Rather, I am straight away, do not waste much time. What are the 5 fundamental elements by which all existences are possible on at least planet Earth? Air.
Water.
Next,
Water.
Water.
Fire.
3, fire.
Matter.
4, matter.
Time.
No.
Earth and space.
Yeah, space or Earth. Yeah. The 5 elements, you don't know that?
Yes.
Yeah. It is even the so-called mechanical scientific world could not deny that. And this Panjabhuta has been already specifically understood and clarified and explained, and the linkages with existences are explained in complete, clear detail, by our ancient rishis. So they called it Bhod. Not both, actually. Bodham meaning ever-pervading energy. Anurasa. And also even electricity is not an energy, actually. When it is functioning, you see that. So forget about, because when Anu said energy, that is the gate to the next concept, Anu. Got it? So I used it. I could have straight away asked what are the 5 elements by which existence is possible. Every one of you would have said it. This is also one of the requirement in a certain context of communication. Because we can use the closest concept or idea or sentence or behavior or action or ways of relationship expressed by one person to go to the next step. Get the point? Because energy, the word used by Anuradha, is the closest. So by doing so, point number one, Anuradha, the non-conscious of that person feels a positive moment of, actually a moment of a nanosecond of Satori. Yeah, right. And as much as possible, you utilize that concept by which you are actually what you call establishing and reinforcing the self-concept and the self-image and the responsiveness of that person. Do not insist on the exact term, because exact term and all is an arrangement. Words are not the things. The word chair is not the thing chair. The word energy or the word bhoot or element is not the reality or the referent, which is air or water or fire or space or matter. So, get the point. So, I have been giving a clue. This is a clue which Veena often very capably uses in her interaction with the patients. Often, what people do, even ordinary people insist on the correct word as if they are super masters of language. Oh, நீ പറഞ്ഞது ശരിയല്ല. No. What it is. Yeah, let them be. By context, I said that. So that is an example, by the way. Coming back to the point, I said samyama meaning, it is a Sanskrit word. Again, the referent of samyama is reflective, highly focused attention on something. Okay, that is easy to say. It's a very tough bicycle. It is like a bicycle with a single wheel. For example, if people were to try cycle first single wheels alone, a great lot of people would never tried it.
Absolutely.
So from two wheels on the ground, then they practiced and then they came to one wheel, and then, that also only very rare people, like the so-called wonderful people in the circus domain, they do that. All right, coming back to the point, what is the referent of air? Do not answer. What is the referent of air? Can you see that with your eyes? Can you hear it?
Some
Wind.
only when it moves, but it's not the air. It is the other things that make the sound.
That is not air per se. It is air moving in a certain way. I am talking about air per se. All right? The referent called air. Nitya, it's moving and all that realities of referent. That we will come later. Okay? So that pure referent called air, like just contained in a bottle or something like that. Okay? Can you touch it? So-called five sense organs. The foundation, like the five elements by which existences are ever possible, it is the five sense organs or the signals detected by the five sense organs by which the entity is existing. See the correlation, five elements, five sense organs, and the entity. From the five elements of the planet Earth, forget about universe, etc. By the five elements of planet Earth, organisms exist. Let us say I exist or you exist. Let us come to that point. And from the five sense data, detected signals of the five senses, that inner organism, that inner entity is existing inside you. Get the point? That flesh, blood, bone, glandular process setting exists by the five elements or five energies, or energies provided by that five elements. And that being in you, which is not the flesh, which is not the blood, which is not the bones, which are not the glands or any of those things, but altogether there is, when all these things are working, there is a phenomenon called the being. And that being is able to be there or sensed by whatever we name as consciousness or awareness or whatever it is, by the energies provided by the five sense organ detected aspects. That's a side point which I mentioned. Coming back to the question, so see the referent of air. For a moment, if we did not know, would we be aware that something is going in and out is cold air? No. How the primitive reflecting human entity conceived that something is going in and something is going out. Is it going in or going out at all? What is that movement in the body? When there's a movement around the chest region, there's a feeling, a so-called touch sensation actually. It is driven by the so-called touch sense. Touch sensation around the inside of the nostrils gives a feeling that something is moving towards the inside of the entity, and in some other moment a similar movement goes out, and if we close the nostril, then there is a tightness, then there is a trouble, then there is a problem, then there is a pressure, and you cannot hold it. The referent of the air. Forget about oxygen, nitrogen, all these things are sciences. You do not feel oxygen, carbon dioxide, etc. Okay, do not get trapped by these scientific explanations. You feel, the finest word you can use for the sake of it is, you feel something making a movement through the nostril towards the inside of the body. When you when there's certain movement of the body, or when you can consciously do something, and then some movement towards the outside. And of course, by the intelligence of the human being, you can hold your hand in front of the nostrils and feel some movement. Like Nitya said, some movement of the wind kind of movement. That thing provides the primary so-called energy for that entity to exist. Primary. And the entity is doing it so genuinely, so sincerely, so completely, so firmly, so correctly, without any of your will, without your decision, without your choice, without your will.